All right, guys, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was chasing a Viper that made 1,400 horsepower in my 300ZX. Now, unfortunately, the Z is down, as many of you know, but what I have here with me today is that beautiful review of that 1,400 horsepower Dodge Viper, as well as its owner, who is so gracious enough to do this with me. Guys, I want to introduce you to Kirk. He is the owner and operator, CEO. What other titles do you have?
President, I guess.
Turbo Doctor, President of Boost Lab.
Yeah, no CEO.
He runs, no CEO here. That's just the title. But anyways, he runs Boost Lab, and you are actually running your turbos in this one?
No, this one's running Zonas.
Zona rotors,
yeah,
okay.
because they're really compact.
Gotcha. So the car is a, what, 20, give me a breakdown, make, model, year of the car.
2016 Viper ACR Extreme.
Ooh, okay.
Which doesn't come with a lot of the creature comforts that we're used to, but...
Don't need those.
Nah.
Not with this thing. And you have outfitted it with...
Calvo Motorsports. They call it the CM 1300X.
1300X. So does that mean it's technically a 1300 horsepower car?
Started off as that, yes.
Started off as that. Okay. So they can obviously turn it up as they need and make.
I think the package is supposed to be for built or stock motors.
Oh,
and mine was one of the first ones that they converted over to the 1300X with a built motor.
Dang.
Because I noticed the factory motor didn't like the power.
Okay.
After a couple sections on the dyno.
If you haven't seen already, or if you haven't been on the billybuilds.com website with a D, I'll put a link down in the description below for you guys. We got the 300ZX merchandise. We got t-shirts up there for you guys. This is my personal favorite. And then this one's basically in kind of like paying heritage to that 90s Super Bowl commercial that we all know and love. And then I'm also contemplating on doing something with the Z like this. So if you guys want to see a Z32 t-shirt, like I got my Mark III Super shirt, I actually think the artwork is really cool on that one. Spent a lot of time on it. So let me know down in the comments. And then also we got the more generic stuff. Let's get back to this video today though. Damn, so it's what is it, a fully built bottom end? Is it a stock factory cast block with, what size turbos? What's the fuel system in it? Go a little bit more in depth, I guess, with that.
These are, I don't know the fuel system because he doesn't really break it down.
No.
But I'm guessing probably 2000 cc injectors.
Right.
68 millimeter Zona rotor turbochargers.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, turned up all the way, it'll probably do like 16 something.
That's awesome. And so you made, what was the official dyno numbers of that?
I think like 1430 or 40.
And do you know how much boost that's at?
No, not much. It's not like a small motor. These things will take a whole lot of boost.
Yeah, so what is the actual displacement on this thing? It's a 10-cylinder, I know that.
Yes.
But is it 8.4?
8.4.
But they built it. And I know some of these they build to be over like 9 liters and stuff.
Yeah, this is not 9 liter, I wish.
Okay. And I know with the different generations of Viper, because this is technically what, a Gen 5.
Gen 5, yeah.
And the earlier models were 8 liters, and then they bumped it up to an 8.4 at one point. There's a lot of displacement in this thing with some big turbos, and it sounds heavenly, just like cruising down the road. The words cannot describe the feeling of just following this thing down the road, because it is surreal just to look at and follow. And like as soon as you hear the turbos spool up in this thing, and it oh my god, yeah, like if you guys watch the video, I'm gonna put a link here so you can watch it. Be sure to check that one out. But don't forget to finish this video first, because we're gonna get some driving done today in this thing, and you'll get an actual like in-car review of it, because I don't think I've ever been in anything quite this fast. It's not bad. Well, it's got traction control. So give me a little bit. The computer in it is a Motec.
Yeah, Motec, yeah.
Okay, because that's probably the only way to go with something making this kind of power.
Yeah, I would not trust it with anything but a Motec.
Maybe a Haltech? I'm partial. I love my Haltech.
I don't think anyone runs Haltechs on these things.
Okay. I'm sure they've thought about it. Somebody's probably done it. What is because there's Calvo Motorsports and then there's Moto as well. Now you said there was something in this car that Moto built, or they had
the
built for you?
clutch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So tell me a little bit about because I remember one time I showed up to your work and you were replacing the transmission on it. So give me a quick breakdown of the transmission setup in this.
It's a PPG billet gear set with nth moto triple disc clutch. I think RPS makes, I believe.
RPS, okay. Being a PPG gear set, does that mean it's actually, is it straight cut gears, or is it just dog engagement?
No, it's literally just a factory synchro billet transmission.
Wow. So it's not even a T56 anymore or anything?
No.
Because originally this came with a T50, was it a Tremec Magnum?
This is the TR-6060, I believe.
Oh, okay. It's pretty much the same thing. There's a few minor differences.
Yeah, because we had some issues with the billet gear set at first.
Right. Okay.
Wrong synchros were used. You can't use the TR-660 synchros with T56 and vice versa.
So, okay, is this, one more question, because I was confused when I was following you. Is it actually an H pattern still, or is it?
H-pattern.
It is an H pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've driven dog box setups and sequentials. I'm not really a big fan.
Gotcha.
To me, it just kind of takes
it's
away.
Noisy. It's a little bit harsher. Yeah. That's exactly how I felt. Because like before, I have a better appreciation for a properly set up drivetrain setup now that I have what I have in that car.
Oh yeah.
Because before I was trying to make the factory 5-speed work, and it's like you can add so much pressure to the clutch. You can put, I don't know, extra like tough synchros in the transmission.
It's not
but
fun to drive. I mean,
exactly.
Handle the power doesn't mean it's gonna be fun to drive.
It ruins the overall driving experience. It's so much nicer to get in it and it drive like a factory car or like a Honda Civic and make 1,300 horsepower. Now this has AC in it too, right?
AC, yeah. I'm lucky it came with AC, I guess.
God dang it, man. Yeah. So what is actually, you said this one's missing some of the basic creature comforts. What is actually missing out of it then?
It came with, I think 3 speakers from factory, and the audio off my cell phone sounds way better than the audio from those speakers.
Yeah, but I mean, with a car like this, you fixed it with the turbos and the exhaust and all that stuff. How often do you actually turn on the radio in it?
I mean, every now and then.
When the girlfriend's in the car, probably, right?
Yeah. No, she likes the windows down too, so it's nice.
That's cool.
But yeah, it doesn't have any sound deadening, so you get to hear everything underneath the car.
Yeah, I've heard that about the Vipers.
Stiff suspension, so you get to feel the whole road.
Now, what's unique about the ACR is the amount of downforce these things have. So can you give me a breakdown of that? Because I was looking, after that last video, I went the next week with scouring the internet to see how affordable I could get into a Gen 5 Viper and twin turbo it. And I found pretty reasonable prices on some of the base model ones. But ACR, I'm like, forget it. But so give me a breakdown of what exactly makes the ACR.
The ACR has track and spark suspension. You have the carbon rotors. Obviously, the big wing, which creates a lot of downforce.
Yeah, from what I remember reading, I think it was like it was like the weight of the car
it's something crazy.
Anything over 100 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour.
120, I think, is what they rate them at. But yeah, I don't really know this.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. The ACR actually lost top speed mile per hour because of the downforce that is induced from all the aero on it, which is freaking wild to me.
Yeah.
Damn. No, that's awesome, man. Real quick, tell me the backstory of how did you end up, what made you decide on a Viper, I guess?
You obviously know my Supra.
Yeah. He has a long history with Supras, and what's funny is a lot of the people I knew back in the day that had Supras are now into stuff like this or twin turbo Lamborghinis, which you also have one of those. Man's got all the toys, I'm telling you guys.
That's for another day.
Yeah, no, okay. Hey, I'm all for it.
Obviously I've been into Supras and stuff for a long time and been fighting. I mean, back in the early 2000s, trying to fight high horsepower Supras.
Yeah.
It's like you're taming a beast, you know, because you don't have the creature comforts, like the Motec. We have Motec and stuff back then to kind of save your ass.
You were trying to work off AEM V1 with extended cranks on startup. Forget it.
Yeah, exactly. But I did a lot of research on a rear-wheel drive car that can do everything the Supra did, and at first I started the Corvette C706,
right,
and then because obviously you can. Comparable to a base model of one of these right here. Everyone compares the Vets to the Viper. On paper, they're about the same, but in real life, they're not the same.
Term, yeah.
Yeah. C7Z06, nice car, but it's not a Viper. And
I mean, and the value of this one the value of these have actually gone up since they were sold, correct?
I thought I was making a big mistake buying the car at first, but boy, was I wrong.
Right. Now they're like extremely they've like doubled in price.
Oh, yeah,
almost. You can't find one. That's
easy.
That is a rarity for any automotive, like anything.
Yeah, normally if you buy some of the MSRP, you're gonna get screwed. But I bought
C7
MSRP.
Imagine if you bought a C7 now.
I mean,
don't even go there, right?
I mean, pretty much this thing does everything the Supra ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
it does it way
more.
easier too.
Way easier. It's so effortless. It kind of gives you a false sense of like security. Yeah. If a car like this gets in the wrong hands, I can see it being.
Oh, absolutely. Like, oh yeah. So give me the lowdown on the brakes on these. Are these 2-piece rotors from the looks of it with 3 6-pot Brembos?
You know more about it than I do.
Okay. I mean, I really don't. I'm just looking at them. Are the rotors ceramic?
Yes, they are.
So here's another thing. From the factory, are these motors dry sump or wet sump?
These
Oiling
are,
system.
I believe they're wet sump.
They are wet sump.
And this has like a semi-dry sump set up in it now.
Okay, it's not like a separate container for
yes.
the oil that gravity feeds into it or something. That's cool.
There's a separate oil pump that we put on there. I'll show you here in a little bit. You can probably see it from the front.
Is it like an accumulator type thing or?
I guess so.
That'd be it. Yeah, let's pop the hood on this. Let's see what we got.
You can't see a whole lot.
That's okay. I mean, I'm not too familiar with these, so it'll be a lot for me.
Well, it opens from this way too. So remember.
Oh, Jesus. So there are 2 turbos, and I don't even know how many feet of intake piping in here somewhere. The turbos sit down here, if I remember correctly, right?
Sit down there.
Oh, wow. Okay, you can kind of see like the heat shielding. I think that's heat shielding. And the intercooler piping right there. Wow. I think the 300ZX chassis can learn a lot from these, which brings me to another point. From what I've seen, Calvo, who built the car for you, started with 300ZXs back in the day, did he not?
Yeah, 300ZXs and Supras, and now he's...
That's... Okay, so there's hope for me. There's hope for people like me that maybe someday we can get into something like this. Guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you smash the subscribe button for me. We gotta get a Viper. So, but to get the car built, obviously, so what's the process like on that? You send the car out, it takes a month? I mean, I would assume a couple months.
He's sped it up now, because I mean, he was kind of learning a little bit on this one.
Right.
Setup. There's, every car's a little different, especially when you're trying to turbocharge a factory motor.
Yeah.
Where you don't know the history.
Yeah.
And that's where this kind of like...
Just kind of uncharted territory, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so how many miles do you actually have on this?
Oh, this is one of those things. I'm pretty sure this is probably the highest mileage Calvo Motorsports car out there.
Really?
I think I had it done when it had 3,000 miles, I believe, on it.
Uh-huh.
And I believe we're close to 20,000, I believe.
So you're about ready for a rebuild, maybe. No, it'll be fine. So let's see. Let's do the math on that real quick. You're at 1,300 horsepower with 10 cylinders. That's a little over 100 and not even 150 horsepower per cylinder. Yeah. So you figure, let's say a 3-liter 6-cylinder making 1,000 horsepower. You're looking at more horsepower per cylinder than a V10 making 1,300 horsepower.
Yeah, sure.
That is a good way to put that into perspective and how much easier this car can make power versus like a low displacement 6-cylinder motor. Like that's a testament to these cars, I think. Yeah. And like Dodge really messed up. This is the only car from Dodge, for the record, that I would ever own. And I think that's in part due to the fact that most of it is not even Dodge per se. I don't think.
I mean, the thing also, you have to remember also, it's nice to say that these things should have came twin turbo from factory, but this is a track car.
Right.
You put this on a track, you quickly realize you wish you only had, 5 or 6 horsepower, or whatever the heck these things come with.
For sure. I mean, I remember my first time seeing I don't know if it was Nth Moto or Calvo. It was probably Nth Moto Viper back in the day when they did the Ocala shootouts. I remember them going like 220, 230 miles an hour in a mile shootout, which was freaking insane to me. And just the sound these things made back then was mind-blowing. But at the same time, it was a normal sight to see, a 1,300 horsepower car doing 200 plus miles an hour. So you didn't really think much about it back then. But seeing it on the street cruising around is freaking otherworldly. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's awesome. But let's go ahead, hop in the thing, and let's go for a quick cruise. Yeah, let's get some fun action in here. That freaking sound is nuts. throw on that thing is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's holy crap. Some sweet noises coming out of this thing already. They're like 10% throttle probably. Got a little bit of a burble tune on it. So we're about to hop on the highway, possibly do some pulls. This thing has traction control too built into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got built-in traction control with that Motec, which I've never actually experienced before, but it's also got rolling anti-lag as well, which it's up to him whether or not he wants to use it or what we're gonna do. So here we go.
Ready?
Whatever. Oh my God. Yo! That is otherworldly. Was that full kill?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, let me fix my GoPro here. Woo! Yo. Guys, I gotta give me one of these. Let's go. The thing is, I don't know what my car felt like from the passenger seat.
Yeah,
it's different.
Very different.
But you definitely get tunnel vision. Like, there's not much to see because it's a short window, which is very odd, but whew. Oh yeah, and there's AC blowing. Son of a bitch, man. I gotta get me some of that. That's crazy. So you said it was how much? 1340, or was it? Did it hit 1400?
When you fell, it was probably more like 1500 just now.
Holy shit! Yeah, my stomach still feels it. Well, it's on Pumpy 85 too, right?
Yeah.
So Pumpy 85, 14 to 1500 horsepower. Good lord! Oh, that was just one pull. Oh my God, dude, I am speechless. That was all done in Mexico too, by the way. It's so funny when you get going like that, you don't even realize, just know like what gear you were in at roughly what RPM.
Yeah. The first day I got this thing back, I didn't realize it was still full kill.
Yeah.
And I've never driven a car this fast.
No.
And got the tires put on, get on the highway, and I'm going home. And it's already late. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna mess around. I'm just gonna punch the car back home. I'll mess with it tomorrow. I was a little intimidated.
Yeah.
And,
rightfully so.
A good friend of ours pulled up next to me. Yep. I'm like, oh crap, here we go. And I had tunnel vision. I was like, what the hell just happened?
You won, I assume, right? It was pretty close.
Yeah.
He had that was in the the F80 that he has?
Yeah, I think it was being on 800 some horsepower or something like that.
Yeah, Jesus. So
to me, I didn't really care what was going on outside of the car.
No.
I was just like, what the heck just happened? I did not expect it to be that fast.
Yeah.
It was a wild experience. I called Calvo immediately and I was like, what the hell? You put this thing in kill mode? He's laughing his ass off the whole time.
So, big question here, because you have the twin turbo Huracan. That makes roughly, how much power does that make?
That one's about 1400.
Holy shit, I didn't realize it made that much power. Now, which one do you prefer?
they're so different.
Really?
That, like, this car, you're connected to it. I mean, everything about it is just mechanical and analog.
So which one would you say does it easier, I guess you could say?
The Lambo.
The Lambo is easier?
Lambo is zero drama, just goes.
That kind of hurts a little bit, but yeah, I get it. I get it, because you're not shifting. You're not...
Yeah.
Like you said, this one's much more analog than the Lambo, and usually that's kind of the give and take with that.
This is definitely more of a driver's car here. You get to feel everything, and like I said, even when I'm driving, I just go off the sound.
Right.
Down the gauge.
Literally, and like just sitting here at idle, like you can feel this thing, the engine pumping away, like with each, I don't know, revolution of the motor. It's nuts.
I mean, it's still crazy. I mean, so yeah, I have 17,000 miles in this car. So it's been boosted for about 14,000 miles of its life.
That's
I changed
awesome.
oil. I change the oil every 1,000 miles. So.
Yeah. I mean, what did we say? Probably about 125 horsepower per cylinder.
Yeah.
So you figure that's a good bit, but shoot, that's the equivalent to like a 6-cylinder making 700 horsepower.
Yeah.
The wife said I can get one more car, and it's gotta be an exotic. I think this counts.
It's fun.
I want to talk about this because you have R888Rs on the back of this car.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that talk so much trash about those tires in particular. But what's funny is, like, the whole reason I got them on my car was because back in the day, I remember seeing Vipers doing 200 plus miles an hour in a half mile mile shootout with the R888Rs on their car.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know where it came about. I mean, yeah, they're not the stickiest tire, and they're kind of outdated a little bit by today's standards. But
these, like, with the power that this car makes, you get a good couple pulls, maybe like 6 pulls or so.
Yeah.
And they get hard.
Oh, really?
So after that, you start feeling traction control kicking on.
Oh.
So you get like good, like probably 6 pulls with it, and then it's starting to get hard.
Really? Okay.
I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, no. I didn't feel traction control kicking at all.
It kicked on a little bit.
It did? Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. I know.
For you to know. Like if you know what to look out for to hear it,
Yeah.
you can hear it missing a little bit during the pull.
I know what it sounds like chasing you, for sure.
Yeah.
But being in the car, like, I was probably just in the moment, and I didn't
Yeah,
even...
it was your first time. So.
Didn't even think about it. Yeah. We went and got lunch, rained a little bit. So the roads are a little wet, and we can't really do too much more, but I think that was enough. I mean, definitely got my heart racing. I am not... Yeah, I don't know. I need one. I need one.
You'll get one.
One day.
You'll get one.
One day. This thing's just fucking raw. I love it. It's definitely not quiet on the inside, though.
No, not at all. That's why I kind of wish I might take everything out and do the sound deadening on it.
Yeah. The fact that the exhaust opens up like right outside the door, I'm sure isn't helping.
No, not at all.
But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you all enjoyed this one. Remember, if you aren't subscribed yet, or if you want to do me the least a favor, just hit the like button for me, and make sure you follow Boost Lab. He's on social medias, Boost Lab on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. He posts some pretty cool videos if you want turbo tech or anything like that. He's a good guy to learn stuff from. But thank you very much for this.
That was awesome.
It's been eye-opening, and I hope yeah, you made the left here. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care. We'll see you next time. Deuces.